Hey guys, I'm gonna be voicing over this run this time instead of just letting it play out because there's a lot to unpack. The plan after World Record was to move on to something else like building or PvP, something to look back on, but I decided to just keep running. Definitely worth it though, gives me infinite stream content. Anyways, this run has no business being what it is. It probably would have been better if this Trident guy actually landed one shot on me so that I just reset and this didn't happen, but I ended up getting 5 iron out of a buried treasure, which is suboptimal. Ideally, you want at least 7 iron. You can play out a 6 iron buried treasure if you're feeling a little quirky, but um, it means I won't be able to craft either a bucket or a pickaxe. But luckily, there's a portal design that doesn't involve a bucket, and I can just craft my pickaxe instead, but it has a lot of backloaded RNG, so that's the main downside of it, is you might waste a minute 30 doing your entire enter just for the ravine not to be applicable. But at this point, I wasn't playing to beat my PB. My resetting became a lot more relaxed, so I played enters like this. The goal was to farm sub 10s or just to have fun, I guess. Even then, I'm voting over this ravine around 110, which should be around a 130 enter. Bucketless portals are still a bit slower than your regular portal, but a few other things go wrong too because I'm bad. Quick side note, I got a second flint again in this run, but this time it's because I needed the gravel and I just happened to get flint. So it wasn't an accident this time, I was actually aware. I really botched this portal, unfortunately. I forgot to put dirt beside the cobblestone right there, which prevents lava from flowing in front of the water. If that makes any sense. This portal's a monstrosity. I messed it up again up here too during the drain. It's a hard portal to be prepared for. You probably build this portal like a few times a session, if that. And I'm entering at 151, which is like just fine. But I end up spawning in a basalt wall, which is unironically the lowest quality spawn possible in the Nether. But I played it out anyways, because my E counter spiked up almost instantly, which let me know that there is a bastion nearby. Just unfortunate I have to dig for another 30-40 seconds just to start my Nether out, which essentially turns this Nether enter from a 150 to like a 240 or a 230. In my mind, this run had already lost all hope, and it definitely should have. But the Nether redeems itself when I finally rip some terrain. You'll see why. I'm just digging around for subtitles right now, trying to find any sort of opening. The only subtitle nearby was lava, so it's not a very smooth escape, but it worked out. And right as there's line of sight of the Bastion, you can just see the Bastion holding hands with the Fortress. They're just right next to each other. The spawner's sticking out right next to it. It's a housing. Housing is like probably the best bastion in every situation. The catch with this bastion is that it's totally built in from the top down, so I have to start the route from the top by punching a piglin, bring them all down, and I'll loot the chests later. Um, I'm supposed to die here, but I guess the script was wrong or something, so I actually survive. Starting the route from the top in housing usually brings in around the same amount of pigs, maybe more than a regular manhunt, where you start from the bottom and break a chest. Even though top down is a bit slower in terms of just the raw route, it does get you a lot more chests, which includes a much higher chance of 20 obsidian, which leads to a much higher chance of you actually getting a run. There's a bit of trouble clearing my inventory here. I kind of just cycled my items back in, but it's not a big deal. And then these guys drop in. I don't know how I didn't get double hit there. I only gave gold to one guy, and somehow the other one just saw me drop gold. But it was only like the fourth time I should have died during this run, you know, nothing, not a big deal. I'm just about good to go at this point and check my trades, which is kind of risky because those guys could have easily tapped me again. I think about grabbing more pearls for a second, and then I remember that the fortress is right next to me and I don't actually need the pearls to get there. And you also have to consider how slow the enter was alongside the basalt digging, so the only way I'm going to catch up on pace is if I just leave immediately, so... Now that the route's done, all the piglins are away from these chests and I can finally loot them in hopes of 20 obby. And since there's two triples in this housing, my chances are very high. But I just end up getting 20 on the dot from a single rampart, which is nice. Saves a tiny bit of time. I didn't actually route this fortress in my head while running to the bastion. So I kind of have to wing it here, but the spawner's just right there, sticking out right in front of the bastion. So that makes things a lot easier. I lower my render distance to 6 here, so I can do something called dynamic render distance. And it makes it so once you drop down to 5 render distance, that's when the mob cap really starts to change. And when you lower the mob cap to a smaller confined space, like 5 render distance or lower, it just starts filling that mob cap in that space. And you can see here, I just spawn in 5 or 6 blazes for free. Luckily, there were only 2 wither skeletons though when I did dynamic, because your chances of spawning skeletons or wither skeletons are as high as blazes, so you can get really unlucky. I go 5 for 5 on this fort split, making this a 30-second fort split, which is disgusting, and I'm out of the nether already at around 540. I left on 5 rods, 1 to save pace, and 2 because there were just no other blazes nearby, so if I committed to possibly not even getting a rod, it easily could have dragged this run out for another 30 seconds or just straight up killed it. The eye I threw here ended up breaking, so I'm down to 9 eyes, and in my head that just means the run's dead because the chances of rolling a 3 eye in the end portal is around a 1 in 12. But I still play the run out for the sake of fun or practice, which helps calm any nerves I might have had. Because surely it's not going to be a 3-eye, right? Like, there's no way. Really good play here. I forgot to put on the soul speed boots, so I kind of just hopped around like an idiot and never put them on. They were just kind of sitting in my inventory to look pretty. Use my last pearl here to clear a lava gap, and I'm nearing the cords really quickly. For a 1200 distance stronghold, this terrain nav is honestly really good. It's scary though because I would have rather used a pearl to prevent fall damage and that easily could have killed me. But it's fine because this run has some sort of plot armor that prevents anyone who plays it from dying. And I'm in the stronghold at 638, which is like a debatable sub 745 pace. So it could have beaten my PB, but it doesn't because I end up going top left in this stronghold because the spike I read on my preemptive where I used the pie chart showed me that I should go this direction. Really sucks I burned 20 seconds just going the wrong direction from a bad preemptive because it puts me back an entire minute barrier. I was able to get some bread out of these altar chests. And now for the moment of truth. Will I get the 3-eye? The one thing that decides the run. No, I get the 4-eye, and then I throw an eye, so that I need the 4-eye, and I enter the end anyways. Like, I wasn't kidding when I said that this run has some sort of plot armor to it, because rolling a 4-eye is around a 1 in 50 chance, and that just casually happened in a moment of crisis. Anyways, I'm gonna let the run play out now, because it's a fast end fight, so thanks for watching, and subscribe.
I don't know what it is.
God, and it probably insta-perches too, huh? Yeah. It probably just goes. Yeah, it just goes, dude. Come here, come here. I'm just that lucky, I guess.